Welcome back to Cam High Connect. This is Devin Green.
This is Ashlyn Valles, and you're watching Scorpion Connect.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Attention seniors, don't be left out of the yearbook. Yearbook deadlines are approaching. The deadline to be photographed is October 18th. If you haven't had your senior pictures taken at Monarch Photography, please call the studio at 805-843-4111 as soon as possible to set up an appointment. Monarch Photography is the official photographer for the Oxnard Union High School District.
ASVAB testing. If you're interested in taking the ASVAB test, sign up with Miss Morales in the College and Career Center. Whether you're interested in going into the military or not, the ASVAB test is available for everyone. This is the most widely used multiple aptitude test in the world that is open to sophomores, juniors, and seniors. The ASVAB testing will be on October 9th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Sign up at the College and Career Center now to reserve a spot.
Seniors, Jostens will be collecting your cap and gown and grad orders Monday, October 7th through your English classes and back to school night from 6 to 8 p.m. outside the gym. You may also order online at jostens.com.
Remember, tomorrow is Fashion Your Future, so wear something that represents your bright future, college, military, or career.
Students, if you took purchase portrait packages with Monarch, not ID cards, pictures, they're in the bookkeeper's office. Please pick up as soon as possible. There are both spring and fall portrait packages to be picked up.
ASB's theme of the month is inclusivity. Teachers, your House of Rep student picked up poster paper in the meeting yesterday. This is for a poster decorating contest for your homeroom. Please decorate your posters with the theme of inclusivity, accepting diversity, etc. If you need supplies, you can borrow them from the ASB room. Please don't send students to N5 for supplies after homeroom. Postline deadline is Monday. Please bring completed posters to N5 on Monday during homeroom for judging. Winner of the poster contest will get a special treat from ASB.
All posters will be hung around campus for the month. Speaking of inclusivity, here's the Renaissance video of the week.
I kind of hate being called a motivational speaker. And the reason I hate being called a motivational speaker is I don't like giving advice and I don't necessarily want to motivate or inspire people. If I can offer anything to people, it's perspective. And the reason why perspective is so important is it allows you to see the bigger picture and it gives you an opportunity to see things from the other side. I remember one time in college getting in a car accident. A car pulled out in front of me quickly, I slammed on my brakes, and when I slammed on my brakes not to hit that car, I got rear-ended from behind by a semi, and then I hit the car that was in front of me. All of us got out of our car, made sure everybody was okay, and then we tried to figure out what happened. And nobody really knew whose fault it was. And when the cop came up and tried to decide who was at fault for this car accident, everybody blamed somebody else. It took like an hour for this cop interviewing all of us separately, talking to people who weren't involved with the wreck to gain the right perspective on what actually took place. And that car accident, that's kind of how life goes. We all have a different perspective on why things are the way they are, or who's at fault or who's not at fault, or why the world works the way the world works. And if you can't learn to gain a bigger perspective on the world, that's when you get stuck in your tiny little bubble. I travel the world talking to young people, and it blows my mind that you guys have a computer in your pocket, yet your perspective sometimes is as big as the small towns that you guys come from. I think that if you want to grow your perspective, you've got to step outside of yourself and you've got to put yourself in a position to experience things that you have never experienced before. Some of the biggest issues that I see with youth culture today is just a lack of perspective. It boils down to a lot of selfishness and a lack of perspective. I see a lot of people walking around with this perspective of, I'm going to do what's easiest for me, not what's best for everybody else. If you want to grow in your perspective, there's a few easy ways to do it. One of the simplest ways to grow in your perspective is learn how to live in the moment. So many of you guys are trying to capture a moment, or you're looking on your phone at something happening somewhere else that you're not even present with what's happening around you. If you can't be present in a moment, you're never going to learn to gain perspective. So much of what's broken today is people not understanding how to just appreciate a moment for what it is, learn from it, and continue to move on. Another way you can grow in your perspective is realize this truth. It's better to be loving than it is to be right. Some of you guys are so focused on being right or proving your point that you forget the opportunity that you have to love someone or have a real conversation with another person. Until you can understand why someone thinks what they think or why someone does what they do, you're never going to understand their perspective. And if you can't understand their perspective, how could you possibly understand them? It's crazy how many people want to win an argument on the internet just to show people that their perspective is right. I've yet to see somebody change their mind because of a tweet. I've yet to see someone change the way that they feel about something because someone said something in a comment on Facebook or YouTube. You guys have to understand, it's more important to be loving than it is to just try and be right all the time. Another thing that you can do is be grateful. Set the habit of trying to find one thing to be grateful for every day. I constantly remind myself of the little things that I have to be grateful for daily, and I really think that drastically improves my perspective on the world. Sometimes it's easy to think that the world's against us. It's easy to think that everybody's got it better than we do. It's easier to look at someone else's life and think, oh, that's life goals. I wish I had your life. But truly, if you took a step back and just thought about the things that you do have and found a way to be grateful for those, I really think you would improve your perspective. Another idea, and I know this might sound cliche, is help others every chance you get. I know the world is telling you guys to give back. I know the world is telling you that you have to do community service. But there's a reason for that. When you serve other people, you learn to appreciate what you have. When you give, that's that opportunity for you to recognize how valuable small things are. When I started Skate for Change and I started handing out socks, I had no idea how important that was to another person. But the more I've done it, the more I've recognized giving little things, being a person who's filled with service, it grows your perspective. It gives you a bigger view of what the world is really about. Another habit that I think is really important for you to develop is learn to be a spectator of your own thoughts. And what I mean by this is simple. Try to understand why things make you angry. That conversation that's happening in your head, don't just say something because you're frustrated. Don't just say something because you're angry. Learn why you say it. Learn why these things anger you. Before you just write something on the internet or before you just go have an argument with another person because they don't believe what you believe, just take a minute and pause and just try to figure out, why do I believe this? The best leaders, the people who actually go out and create things, they're not trying to figure out what people are doing. They're trying to figure out why people do it. I care way more about why my staff acts a certain way or why I respond to something in a certain way than what the scenario was that caused me to respond that way in the first place. Perspective, I truly believe, is one of those skills that if you want to create, if you want to lead, if you want to do something bigger than yourself, you're going to have to grow in your perspective. And the first place your perspective starts.
What's up, Scorps? You don't need no introduction. I'm going to get straight into it. It's going to be 77 right now. It's going to be 75 tomorrow, Friday 75, Saturday 79, 81 Sunday. And then heading back to Scorps Center. Oh.
Thank you, Thomas, for that, baby. Tryouts. Oh, but first, I'm Spencer Moore.
I'm Nuggets, and you're watching Scorps Center.
Tryouts Thursday, October 3rd, collegial day. Varsity at 3 p.m. JV. Basketball tryouts on Thursday, October 3rd, collegial day. Basketball, by the way, you need your athletic clearance to Mr. Sandoval, and you need to be registered on athleticclearance.com.
Yes, sir, D. Varsity girls tennis defeated Agora 18-0. JV won 5-0. Girls golf lost to Oak Park by one stroke, 216-217.
Varsity girls volleyball came back to beat Moore Park 3-2. JV lost 2-1, and Frosthoff lost 2-1 also. Now send it to my guy, Mr. Storr.
Hey, Scorps, are you there? It's time for reflections, and we're running out of time, actually. So we'd like you to get into your projects or your essays or your dance moves or your videos to room B as in boy 4. Before, not after, October 18th. You see what I did there? Before October 18th is the deadline for reflections. You can win all kinds of prizes, including scholarships for college. You should enter, and you should be creative. Why aren't you? Come and see me in room B4 if you have questions. Thanks, Scorps. Now over to the German Club.
Hello und willkommen.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Paige, and today is day 3 of Teach German Week, and our topic is German American culture.
But first, our word of the day is Eichhörnchen, which means squirrel.
The best way for Chem High students to get involved with German culture is by taking the German program, participating in GAP, and by joining German Club, which meets every other Monday.
I myself participated in GAP just this summer, and it's known as the German-American Partnership Program. It was the best experience of my high school career. On this trip, you get to travel to Germany, learn about their school systems, daily lives, and cultural differences. I met so many new and amazing people, and I got to practice my high school language in a real-life situation. It's a great opportunity that anyone can enjoy.
Now sending it off to Hispanic Heritage Month.
Hi, I'm Viviana Valencia,
And I'm Kimberly Galvan.
and for today, we're going to be talking about Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Valenzuela is a Mexican former professional baseball pitcher. He was born on November 1st, 1960 in Navajoa, Mexico. He was discovered in 1977 by a Los Angeles scout, Gorito Varona, while playing in the Mexico League. He was signed by the Dodgers on July 6, 1979. Valenzuela was best known by his teammates as El Toro.
He was awarded Rookie of the Year in 1981. Valenzuela was so popular, a phenomenon known as Fernando Mania. Attendance increased by an average of 9,000 fans whenever he pitched in road games. He became a culture icon in the Latino community in the United States and a hero in his home country. Sending it to Ashley and Devin for the outro. That's all we have today, Scorps.
Have a great minimum day. Tune in tomorrow.